Awesome date, August 16th, 2010. Awesome topic, the true spirit of the drift. This is OSMcast. Greetings, citizens, and welcome to the OSMcast, your podcast for everything awesome. I'm Basil.
I'm Eric.
And that's us. Yes, we're rocking it duo style this time. Like Geek Night, Reverse Thieves.
Suck Brothers for life.
A-Duo, if A-Duo only had two people, they have three, so it doesn't count. But that's us. Two guys and a microphone.
Two fat nerds and a microphone. Just clap your hands. Just clap your hands. Okay, that wasn't funny. Fuck you guys.
So, good day.
Good day.
Good day.
Good day all around. Let's see. We're about to go back to school.
It's crazy.
Here. It's crazy.
Crazy college students doing crazy college student things.
I'm actually going kind of stir crazy this summer. Like, you get kind of used to working 40 hours a week and going to school 15, and then when you lose school and you have no more deadlines, I mean, it's great for like 10 minutes, and then suddenly it's like, oh my god, I have nothing to do. So,
thankfully, that's where video games come in.
Exactly. Video games.
Like
ModNation. Well, actually, StarCraft is what I've been playing mostly, but...
So you're doing your Eric's Moment of StarCraft.
Moment of awesome music. Do we actually have Moment of awesome music? No, we just have Kevin going, it's a moment of awesome.
That's right. We never had actual music.
We don't have actual music. Hear that, James? We need actual music. Anyway, so yeah, for my moment of awesome this week, we got StarCraft 2. Fuck yeah, 11 years, bitches. Finally out. 12, 11, whatever. Long time. It's been so long, I don't remember.
I thought it was 27.
Like, hut.
In the butt?
Football joke. But yeah, like...
well, yeah, in the butt, I mean.
No, it's awesome. It's everything I wanted. There's some people that are kind of whining that it doesn't really innovate the StarCraft formula, and to which I say, go to hell. I don't want innovation. I want more awesome StarCraft and awesome story. That is the saddest thing about StarCraft, actually, is the story makes it very obvious that it's only 1/3 a game. It's not linked or anything. It's like 16, 18 hours, something like that, if you don't do any achievements or special like stuff like that. It's a pretty good long RTS. It's longer than StarCraft was, and it's fun. I love the in-game unit things. As always, are terrific. Arnold Schwarzenegger on the Thor, but yeah, it's a total blast. And then the only other thing real awesome is been reading Bakuman, which Basil actually gave me, which is pretty awesome.
Yeah, first grabbing novels out thanks to, I believe, Viz. Pretty positive it's Viz.
Yeah, pretty positive it's Viz.
It's shown in Jump, so it has to be Viz.
Yeah. And that's pretty kick-ass. And, the last volume of Mushishi came out, which is very awesome and sad at the same time. It's a giant multi-volume. It's 8, 9, 10, I think, in one volume. Which kind of sucks. Because on the one hand, it's cheaper, because it's like $22, and, of course, buying all three would be like... I think Mushishi came in like $11 volumes or something like that, so it would be like $33. On the other hand, the one big thick volume makes it harder to read, and it's a slightly less paper quality and printing quality than the last 7 volumes, especially than the first two. Like the first two were super nice, and they just became nice, and this last one is just not so wonderful. But it's good to have the end of the series and to be able to...
At least you have it.
Exactly. At least it's here. It came out. It's in English. I can read it. It's not Moonspeak, and it's awesome.
If you're somehow new to this whole OSMcast thing, we did actually do an entire review of Mushishi which you can check out in our Index Awesome on the webpage.
It should be in there. And
OSMcast.com.
And everything we say, and it holds true throughout the whole series. I think we had read up to 6 or 5 when that one came out, something like that. And the last 5 volumes are nothing. I don't want to say nothing was added because that makes them sound bad, but the review holds true for the whole series. So
the quality never dipped.
The quality never dipped. The quality never dips. The formula doesn't radically change. Like nothing super alters.
And also, since we're talking about the website, if you would like to comment, feel free. Or if you'd like to send us an email, awesomecast@gmail.com. We'll totally take your emails.
We're lonely. Why don't you email? You never call anymore.
We do have a voicemail, but bugger if I remember that number.
Yeah, screw that.
So check the website, awesomecast.com.
Yeah, if you're listening
to this. It's a website with a podcast on it. Oh, yeah.
You can't see us, but we're doing awesome grins right now.
You remember that old, the awesome face? The super stupid grin?
No. We're not making Jason faces. Like, we love you, Jason, but we're not making Jason faces. No.
They're much smarmier than that.
They're much smarmier than that, exactly. Smarmy, there's the word. It's good adjective. Good adjective, Basil. Yeah, there we go. So, that's my moment of awesome. What do you got this week?
Well, of course, there's always Basil's Dragon Quest Minute.
Oh. God, it's like being the last uninfected member on an island of Akira Toriyama drawn zombies, so everyone looks the same. Just blank DSs from the back everywhere.
And that's awesome. Because when you're part of the cult of Dragon Quest, or Drakwe, as I say it in Japan, glorious Nippon, if you will, it's a good cult to be part of.
I walk in today. We were about to go to dinner with a couple of our friends, and I went to use the restroom, and I came back, and it was just like it was like a cult. It was like everyone was just quiet, had their DSs out, you know. So where you guys want to go? Like where we decide to go again? Yeah, okay. I will just get in the car.
Goddamn metal slime! Mother effing metal slime! How much of metal slime, metal slime, metal slime?
Yeah, I don't know anything about Dragon Quest, and I know that metal slimes are something, and they're rare, and they give XP because I hear goddamn metal slime.
The trick is metal slimes give you like buku experience. Like technically, if a level 1 character you beat, like say we're fighting right now liquid metal slimes, you jump 8 levels. So take a mob that you can kill, and wow, they just bumps you up 8 levels, one go. That's the kind of experience we're talking here. Now here's the trick, is that they're metal slime, so every hit you do to them is 1 damage. They have like 6 or 8 HP. They're hard to hit. Half the time you try to hit them, you miss. And so you're trying to get 8 whacks on them. 8 whacks.
Yeah, 8 whacks on your slime.
You know, I wasn't going to go there, but anyways... But you constantly miss and they constantly run from you. So they're a pain. But when you beat them, it's worth it. And so that's trick to metal slimes.
So, yeah. So everyone here has been playing Dragon Quest.
Everyone. If people I didn't realize were playing Dragon Quest are playing Dragon Quest. It's great.
People that don't own DSs are playing Dragon Quest. I think we know 2 people that don't own DSs that are playing Dragon Quest. It's like, did you buy a DS? No, I'm borrowing somebody's.
But I'm playing Dragon Quest. But, you know, frankly, this series has never gotten, off in America very well. And it's really nice to see that finally a version of Dragon Quest has really caught on with people that I know. Because it's always been Final Fantasy this, Final Fantasy that. Well, with all the nerds that I know of, and geeks.
That's what happens when your Final Fantasy game sucks so much that even the hardcore Final Fantasy fans I know admit it sucks.
Well, it's true, and the trick of Final Fantasy is they constantly try to innovate, and by innovate, I mean they let the creators' egos get in the way of actually creating decent gameplay. Or at least decent story in this case.
Decent story, yeah, exactly. The gameplay was good in 13.
Well, the battle system was good, but the way they funneled you through the story, the gameplay of getting through the story was not good. Just the battle system.
The battle system was good, and it wasn't good until 31 hours in, something like that. By the 31st hour, the battle system had finally arrived.
But no, what I did do that was really awesome. Oh, and this has been Basil's Dragon Quest Minute.
I thought we had decided we weren't going to do that.
We're totally doing that.
Ugh.
Like, I have both opening and ending music
Opening
for that.
and ending music.
Dadgut, we're going to use it.
James, don't use it.
So anyways, what actually I've been doing is I watched through the entirety of Avatar: The Last Airbender. Not the crappy movie, but the pretty awesome TV show.
Yeah, I was about to say, that's quite an accomplishment, making it through that movie. Not a lot of people did it.
It is an accomplishment apparently to make it through that movie. Where even the guy, he does Cornpone Flicks and also does a bunch of reviews. He was like, "Oh God, even Eclipse is better than this shit." And when you say a Twilight movie
is better than a movie,
than anything else, you know that movie is a steaming pile of poo.
So Avatar's pretty good though. Like I really liked it.
Yes, like the internet has like pretty much
created like a temple of worship out of Avatar.
Yeah.
Like the best cartoon that's not made in Japan forever, ever.
And ever. And it's not that good, but it's pretty good.
Yeah, exactly. It's not the best thing ever, but it's not... I mean, it's good. Like, it is good stuff.
Like, it's a very well-made cartoon, and probably the best sequential cartoon I've seen in some time.
Yeah,
out of American Shores.
Yeah.
Like, it is really, really good, especially...
It's one of the few sequential cartoons.
It's one of the few, and it's done well. And one of the neat tricks about it is that it's still serialized to an extent. Like, the story keeps moving, and everything that happens in sequential order. But they break the episodes enough such that the stuff that happens within an episode, you can go into an episode most of the time, and it be more or less contained.
Yeah, it walkies it a lot, where like it's got an overarching plot, but each comic has its own joke, as it were. It doesn't have a joke, but has its own internal plot.
And it was really interesting watching this while playing Dragon Quest IX, as Avatar is very similar in that in Dragon Quest IX, you have an overarching plot line, but each town you go to is its own vignette with its own little contained story that you go through that town and its accompanying dungeon. You solve that problem, you move on to a new town, and you get a brand new small vignette of a story. Same with Avatar. Each episode, more or less, except unless it's big plot episodes, which are usually beginning, middle, and end, to connect everything, usually have at least their own small contained story that you can watch for that episode and be okay. It does the same thing. And what I was really impressed with Avatar was actually, when you go into the second and third seasons, the stuff that happens in episode 1 where you thought were just throwaway characters for that vignette, come back.
Yeah, it's all interconnected in the end. Like it's great writing.
Like, it is really well done, and for some guys who were directing episodes of King of the Hill, this is way better than King of the Hill.
Sorry, Victor, but that's not too hard. I know Victor's going to listen to this and go like, what? But that's not too hard.
So yeah, Avatar's good stuff. I'm now glad I watched it. I watched it because all 3 books are on Netflix, Instant Queue. So if you've got Netflix, and chances are if you have a 360, it's getting more and more likely that you do.
Do have Netflix?
Or if you have PS or even Wii now, Netflix Instant Queue is on everything.
Yeah, but that's how we watched. We were watching with 30 Rock or the other day. Was via PS3.
Which we talked more about it at our roundtable about online TV, which you can catch in our index of awesome.
You really need to check that one out, guys. It's one of our better ones. Not that all of them aren't awesome. Obviously, we're the OSMcast. Fuck yeah.
I mean, we're the authority on awesome.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. We're the official stamp.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. To the voice. Oh, you can't do it if I tell you to. I'm saying.
What are you talking about? Oh yeah, I can't do it.
You can't do it. Yeah, exactly.
Oh man,
you're totally failing with the voice here. But anyway, it is one of our best, and it's really awesome, and it's very interesting. It's a very good discussion.
So, but now onto a brand new discussion, a more classic kind of discussion, a review, as much as we review anything here.
Yeah, exactly.
About a video game, also on the PS3, much like that Netflix instant streaming disc. It's a video game called ModNation Racers.
Zoom, zoom.
Now some might say that only realistic racers are the best racers known, like Forza or Gran Turismo, or perhaps only arcade racers, like Need for Speed and Burnout, are the true way to enjoy racing, or possibly even Initial D, third stage. But no, the true spirit of racing is when you add in items, like with a kart racer. It's much like how Smash Brothers is the true expression of fighting games, because only with items can you truly understand the minutia of the true fighting spirit, and with kart racers can you truly understand, with shells and rockets and whoopee cushions, the true spirit of the drift.
It's like a Scooby snack for your soul, the spirit of the drift. It's just one of those things that was given to us on high from the Lord. And he came down and he said, race with items and lightning bolts, and you drift that shit till flames come out of your tire, and the flames of hell being excised from it. Is that too much? I think it might be too much.
Some might say if you're not out of control, you ain't in control.
You ain't in control.
But the truth is,
in control of your soul from the Lord.
You know that you're control if you see blue sparks.
That's right. Spark it or park it, boys.
Yeah, okay, so we're actually talking about a kart racer called ModNation Racers.
ModNation Racers. And ModNation Racers is one of like a billion racing games that came out at the same time. It was like Blur and ModNation
and Split Second.
And it's the only good one. Sorry. That came out at that time. Excuse me.
Not true. Split Second was good.
Was it?
It wasn't as good.
It wasn't as good, but it was good. Okay. So, ModNation was the best that came out at that time.
ModNation, I think, is especially poignant, because I feel it is the first go-kart racing game that is better than Mario Kart.
Yeah, like the first one I think that's ever been created by someone that's not Nintendo,
or even Rare of Diddy Kong Racing. That's straight up better than Mario Kart.
Mario Kart, yeah, this is way better than Mario Kart Wii. It's just a blast to play. And that is an amazing achievement, quite frankly. There's a lot of people have tried. I mean, there was the Star Wars Pod Racer game. There was the Diddy Kong Racing, Crashes Racing,
Sonic Stun
Racing.
They recently did a Sonic in Sega's All-Star Racing.
Yeah.
Which you have Banjo-Kazooie in the Xbox 360 version, which was decent, but it wasn't as good as Mario Kart Wii. But this one did it. This one, for the first time ever, I mean, there was actually even one on Game Boy Advance that you could play as Solid Snake and Dracula. From Konami, and there's tons of just really crappy kart racers. Even EA made NASCAR kart racers.
Oh yeah, the NASCAR kart
for the Wii.
Yeah, I remember that.
There have been a ton of kart racers. This is the first time ever that they've made a kart racer that wasn't Nintendo, but is just as good as Mario Kart 64 or Mario Kart Double Dash.
Yeah, seriously, hands down. And let's talk about why it's as good. First off, the control is smooth. Everything works. It's not jerky. It's drifting feels good. It feels natural when you do your little drift. There's a boost at the beginning, just like in all kart racers and all sorts of stuff. You can change your karts, which is cool. So, that mechanic works, and it works really well. Like, I've played kart racers where you can alter what karts you use, and it doesn't make any.
Well, the trick with this one is that because ModNation is very much about creator-oriented stuff, you can download special racers, special karts made by other people. And so since you have all this variety of things you can download, which we'll get into later, but, in Mario Kart, the kind of karts, the kind of characters you use determines what kind of physics your kart's going to have.
Yeah.
What ModNation does is they allow you to change your actual style of racing, where you can choose whether you want drift control or regular kart control, or if you want acceleration or top speed. So you can create whatever style you feel is best for your racing.
Exactly.
And it'll apply to any kart you race.
And that's awesome. Let's see, there's no super cheap items in the game. There are good items, but there's no super cheap, and the only form of rubber band physics is warping. There's an item that is either a boost or a warp, and you can only really get it in the lower ranks, and I like that much, much better than a blue shell-like item that blows... I don't mind a not really reward, but a helper for people in the back. What I don't like is a punishment for being in the lead.
And now, that said, there are items that are freaking powerful.
Oh, powerful, yeah, good, yeah.
And you're going to get hit by them. But you have a chance to dodge every one of them.
Every one of them, yes, the shield mechanic.
What they did was actually took mechanics, which you would normally see in a Burnout game, and then applied to kart racers.
Yep.
Where what happens is, whenever you draft, which is when you get behind someone's car and you're within their wind tunnel, as it were, you get points towards your boost meter. Or if you go in the air, you get boost. Or if you drift,
you get boost. And if you do tricks in the air, you get extra boost.
And that boost meter allows you to do things. One, you can either actually boost,
go faster.
Like using nitrous for those who play Need for Speed, or you can activate a shield, which works just like, say, in Smash Brothers, where it just drains off your boost meter, and if someone tries to hit you while you have that shield up, it's not going to do any damage.
Now, the advantage is still towards the weapons. Your shield it eats boost energy like a motherfucker. It's very quick to drain out. You don't know it. You can't really see. There's a see behind you mechanic, but it's not. You don't ever use it, and it's not. You get a kind of warning, like beep 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 beep, but it's not very exact. So I've had plenty of situations where it said, oh my god, there's a lightning bolt right behind you. I've had full boost meter. I hit my shield, held it down for the entirety of my boost, and still got hit by the item. But the point is you have a chance to dodge some of this stuff.
And also the items don't work quite like you think they do. For example, the lightning bolt. It actually is not, it doesn't hit everyone at once.
Oh yeah.
It's a cascading effect. It starts from the very front, then moves itself down the line.
Yeah.
So what happens is, if you're in the front of the pack, you do want to activate it as soon as the beep starts really kicking up, because that's what's going to hit you. However, if you're further in the back, and suddenly people in front of you start to get zapped, you're going to wait till the person in front of you gets zapped, then you hit your shield to start avoiding it, because if it's a full-powered zap, it will last for the entirety of a full boost duration.
Or there's the Sonic Fold or whatever ability that one... It just creates a wall forward, but not only can you shield up to avoid it, if you get to the sides and get around where it's hitting...
If the track is wide enough.
If the track is wide enough, or if it's got shortcut areas, you can get away from it. The missiles, there are times where you can trick the missiles into hitting the walls. Of course, there are other times where you'll hit your shield, the first 3 or 4 missiles will bounce off, and then the last one will nail you. But
yeah, there are various, and the trick is, as we haven't explained this yet, the items. But the items is you get red items, blue items.
And red item, blue items, green items, and purple items.
Purple items. And the trick is that the first one's random. But after that, you can. There's various levels.
Yeah, each one gets better and better and better. For example, green is a super nitrous.
It's all 3 stages.
Yeah, green is super nitrous. 2 green is super nitrous. 3 greens punches a hole in the space-time continuum and warps you forward on the track, which can sometimes be a good thing and sometimes be a bad thing if you get warped right into some kind of hideous pit.
The warp will just throw you out a exact distance ahead of you.
Yeah.
Or maybe inactive, but a certain amount of distance is just going to throw you up in front of you. Now, if you don't plan correctly, you might just knock yourself into a wall. You might knock yourself
over a cliff.
Off over a cliff.
Yeah.
There are many times where it'll warp me, it warps me out in the middle of a curve. So suddenly, I was driving straight, I hit my warp, now I'm going to hit the wall because it's the middle of a curve and I can't move that fast.
You can't move that fast. Well, not only that, but you can't control yourself for the first, I think 3 seconds. You're boosting for the first, 3 seconds out of the warp, and so you can't control yourself.
But if you warp correctly and you warp at the right times, there have been moments where I have raced and I was in last, and next thing I know, I'm in first and I won the race.
Yeah. And it's all about knowing when to use the items, which is what kart racers items should be about.
Right.
Blue is a Sonic Fold. It just does it. basically makes a noise and the first level knocks anybody around you. The second level shoots out and knocks people in front of you, and the last level creates a giant wall of sound that courses throughout the level. Purple is lightning bolt. Level 1 is just a lightning bolt. Level 2 is a chain lightning bolt in front of you, and level 3 is the lightning bolt from Mario Kart, essentially.
Oh, it doesn't turn everyone's.
Well, it doesn't shrink anybody. And red is missiles. It's one missile unhoming a pack of missiles that home on the person in front of you.
It's like 2 or 3.
Yeah, it's like 2 or 3, and they home on the person in front of you. And then level is a pack that homes on every single person in front of you.
And it's a giant frickin' Itano Circus Macross missile volley blast of like 15 missiles shoot out from you, all trailing when whirring down the track until it smacks into everybody they can get in front of.
Oh yeah, so that's the items and that part of it. Let's see. The course level design for the actual levels that they give you is wonderful.
They're going to mean the guys who made this were United Front Games.
Yeah,
and they did a really good job. They had the same. They did the same thing that say Media Molecule had to do for Little Big Planet. Not only how the tracks have to be fun to race, but that to show people how tracks could be, in theory, made.
Yeah, exactly.
And show the various qualities of the race engine on how you should create tracks using ModNation racer tools. And that's really the trick, is that while we say it's just as good as Mario Kart, it's not Mario Kart. As we've discovered in downloading a lot of people's what they think are good Mario Kart tracks, you cannot create a pure pixel for pixel creation because it's not, the physics aren't the same.
Yeah, the physics aren't the same. That sometimes is, and sometimes they're better, and sometimes they're worse. I find that the game is much less slippery than Mario Karts tend to be. You have much more precise control. On the other hand, man, you hit a wall the wrong way, you're going to be stuck on that wall for a few... Because the jumping doesn't turn you. Like, you can't turn and jump the way you can in Mario. Right. So you can get stuck up on pieces of the physics or pieces of the geometry real easily.
And this is very much a game that is designed for, if you want to get a perfect run, is you don't touch anything.
Yeah.
I mean, actually, I think it sort of takes inspiration for things like Forza and Gran Turismo, and that those are kind of games that if you hit a wall, you slow the hell down, and it takes a bit to get back it up and running.
Yeah, exactly.
And that actually comes through ModNation Racers. You hit geometry. Guess what? You've just now slowed yourself down, and you're going to take a little bit of time to get back up and running, and by that point, 2 or 3 people have already passed you.
And you can't even use boost to accelerate I mean, you can use boost right off moving slowly, and it moves you faster, but it doesn't, like, you can't, like, hit a boost and look, I'm back at full acceleration. Yeah. Like, if you stop boosting, you will simply go back down to accelerating like normal. And also, if you drift and hit a wall, you lose all your boost power. Like, if you've been drifting and have accumulated 10,000 boost power, and you slam into a wall, all that you would have accumulated at the end of the drift goes away. So,
which, sometimes it might be just you do something wrong, but it also could be because you were racing with 12 people, and next thing you know, there's 10 people that are trying to drift up that same thing with you.
Exactly. And it makes for some actual, like, gameplay in there, because, okay, I've got this awesome drift. I've been drifting for like 10,000 points. Like, I still could drift, but do I want to break the drift and then go back into drift to accumulate those points? Or do I want to keep drifting to get more points? Like, which do I want to do? And so there's some interplay in there, It's also a game where you move faster drifting. Like, no matter where you're moving, you move faster drifting than if you're just normally driving. So it really does reward you for a consistent drift. You can't, like, it does not reward you for, like, snaking.
The trick is that when you get into a drift, you're slower, but once you get into the drift, that's when you're faster.
Yeah.
And so the trick is that you cannot snake. Is the way snaking works in Mario Kart is you're constantly starting a drift, starting a drift, starting a drift, starting a drift. You're moving like a snake. Well, you can't do that in ModNation, because those initial startups are the slow parts.
Yeah, so you're just going to slow yourself down to be slow. And that's a cool feature. That is someone who played a kart racer, looked at something, said, this is a bad part of a kart racer, let's fix that.
Like, pretty much every part of the game that I've played really feels like they took something, an element of a kart racer, thought about it really, really hard, and was like, okay, the best way to implement this would be doing it like this.
Exactly.
And 9 times out of 10, that's what they do.
The only real complaint you can have about the level design is that it's very generic. In a way, because it is like Little Big Planet, where they're giving you building blocks, and so they built the game out of the same building blocks that you use to create your own levels. And so I don't want to say it's generic, but it lacks some of the like pizzazz that you really get out of some of the Mario Kart levels sometimes, because you don't get things like Rainbow Road where the ground is a rainbow, or Boo Mansion with ghosts everywhere.
No, there seems to be a sort of an element of realism to, I mean, the graphics are still very cartoony, but they're still in a sense realistic. Like you'll get like a level has a pirate ship.
Yeah.
But that's it. I mean, that's the only crazy thing about it. Or you'll get an airplane, but you won't get like freaking Bowser's flying ships flying about, shooting bullet bills at you or whatnot. It's very much stuff that you could theoretically see in reality, just taken to absurd levels.
Yep. Exactly.
And so you'll get like generic, like this is in a jungle, this is in Holland, this is
a farm, this is a desert, this is a forest, this is a city,
this is a racetrack.
Yeah.
And those are pretty much the templates that you get to create. Now, that said, I mean, with, say, the actual mods or the actual people you can create, they allow you to create stickers to put on the faces and stuff, so you can create pretty freaking accurate things.
Oh, yeah.
With, like, your people as well as your cards. But you can't do that with the tracks. You only get the basic building blocks for the tracks. And unfortunately, it's one of the things that just holds it back, is because you only have these generic building blocks to work with, and they're not crazy. They're just,
oh my god, I would
goofy.
pay for like packs of new downloadable stuff.
Yeah.
Like here's like, new signs and roadway stuff. Here's I'd love the ability to put stickers on your stuff in mod, or the ability to put mods in the track, like fill the stands with self-made mods. That would be really neat.
And I'm sure there's probably reasons for this. For example, it's probably has to do with them actually being able to draw out the level.
Yeah.
Using their game engine. You try to fill an entire thing with, custom-made textures. The problem probably cannot string the textures in properly enough or fast enough to do it.
Yep.
I know the PS3 actually has kind of low streaming video memory, as opposed to the 360 actually has more of it. Like, it actually comes with problems where you might get actually higher textures. Technically, you think you get it on PS3 because of the Blu-ray space gives you all the space for it, but the pipeline to get it out onto the screen is not as good, and so sometimes they'll dial down stuff so they can fit everything in. It's also the reason why the load times are so bad, which is really the worst problem with the game.
Oh yeah, the absolute worst. Which I just patched to fix, but it does make it better. I'd say they said maybe a half. I would say a third. Right?
No, I think it is half when you are booting it for a race.
Okay, yeah, I'll give you that. When you're actually in the race, it's about half the load time it used to be. It's still a pretty good load time. It's still a minute.
The trick is, I will warn you, when you boot up this game, go make a sandwich.
Yeah, you're going to be sitting there for like 5 minutes while it loads. Like, have you installed it on the PS3 yet? Do you have the space? Or
I got the space. I mean, I saw what they allow you to, but they don't allow you to do a lot.
They do a lot, yeah.
So, I mean, you can't put the entire game on.
I bet it's even more if you don't install too.
Yeah.
Like, so be prepared for that. You are going to have some load times here. But it's okay. I mean, it's totally worth it. The game is a blast. And you do such funny things. I mean, there's nothing like racing as a Jawa in the A-Team van and firing a lightning bolt at Lupin, who is driving the Ninja Turtles van, while a pair of plug-suited Ava characters run by with Sonic and Yosemite Sam.
But the amount of people that stuff that people create for this game is in fact already crazy.
Yeah, it's insane.
And probably one of the bonuses for this, not being quite such a high-profile game, is that on Little Big Planet, which had a bunch of copyright infringement hits on them, no one's really cared about this game.
Yeah, nobody cares about ModNation Racer because it's such a smaller game.
And so people get away with more. the top-rated download is always going to be Mario.
Yeah, it's like actually right now on the mod spot we were in, it was actually the Grinch, Mario, and there was one more. Oh, Iron Man.
Iron Man's always popular. Spider-Man's always popular.
Spider-Man's always up there. Like the Grinch had actually replaced Spider-Man. So
and there's been some that are like crazy accurate, like Sylvester the Cat.
Sylvester the Cat, yeah.
They look perfect.
Lupin. The Lupin that we got.
Lupin is really well done.
I'm trying to think of others. My little Jawa mod is really cool.
I have a Veritech fighter. Oh, I'm sorry, Valkyrie. Depending on if you want Macross or Robotech.
Mazzinger Z.
Yeah, I got Mazzinger
Z. Yeah, it was really
various
good.
Gundams I've got. I've got a Zaku.
I couldn't believe the Maz. I'm sorry, guys. I didn't mean to, but it was like, wow, I remember loading this up for the first time and Bill scooting around with a Mazzinger Z.
In a Mach 5.
In a Mach 5, yes.
Which is usually what I usually drive as. Or I have a really good Marta the Paranoid Android. And so it made a Heart of Gold that actually kind of looks like a shoe.
Yeah, it's the carts aren't quite as good as the mods themselves. But that's because I think the car bodies are more limited than the people. I mean, the people bodies are just the basic body, and then you can sticker things and use pieces. And cars are a little bit more, especially when you're trying to create things like X-Wing fighters, are a little...
And this also is very much of a super deformed kart racer style.
Yeah.
So it's a lot easier to make crazy-looking super deformed people look correct, as opposed to the karts, which inevitably look a little bit more realistic, so it's a little bit hard to make them crazy.
And it's amazing what people can do with like one or two stickers. I mean, I think that Lupin guy used for the face sticker, and that was it. Like,
and then maybe some stuff for like the actual body.
For the body, but the thing that made it look really good was I think the eyes.
Yeah,
it was like the eyes were a sticker, and then the rest of it was mod parts, and it's wonderful stuff on there. What else did somebody have? The Monopoly piece, car.
The Monopoly man in his silver car.
Yeah, Uncle Pennybags or whatever his name is, and it is really a wonderfully creative game. Oh, there's all sorts of stuff. I mean, I can't even. And the best part is the tracks. The tracks that the guys gave you are good, but man, we've played some fun tracks.
And some really horrible tracks.
Oh, yeah, and some horrible tracks. Don't get us wrong.
Like, it's interesting in that the way that people are griefing in this game is a little bit different than what I was expecting. And the trick is that all the griefing is done for tracks created.
Yep.
Like, because there's various elements of tracks that, if used correctly, are interesting road hazards. But they can be abused.
Yeah.
And oh my gosh, are there tracks that are abused.
Backwards arrows. Oh my god, guys. Oh my god.
They have two kinds of speed arrows that will give you a boost. One shoots you straight ahead, whatever direction you're already going, no matter what shape or, point direction that arrow goes. There's another arrow that goes in whatever direction the arrow is pointing in, which is really useful, say, if you want someone to do a really crazy hairpin turn and you don't think they're going to be able to make it, you can put a little arrow there and they'll push them in the right direction.
Unfortunately,
you can also do it, say you have a turn going right, and then you make the arrow go left, and so they go into this turn to go right, and the next thing you know, you send them veering off left, and they hit a wall.
Or if you want to fuck with people, like I saw one track where they had put an entire line of arrows, and all of them were backwards arrows but one. And so if you knew where to go, you could boost forward. But everyone else hit backwards arrows, and there's a lot of that. There's a lot of we're going to make it so if you boost on the initial boost, you'll hit a wall automatically.
Yeah.
There is a crap ton of that kind of, numb fuckery, and it's just terrible.
I mean, sometimes you'll have actually a pretty good level, which will have a couple of these as mistakes.
Oh, yeah.
Like, there's a few tracks where I've had a really good turn, next thing I hit a wall.
Yeah, there's that great, there's a really great track that we do that just has this one turn where if you don't drift it exactly right, you slam into a wall.
And there's nothing you can do about it because you didn't do it exactly perfect.
Yeah.
But if you use a backwards arrow, we already know you're a douchebag.
You're a douchebag, yeah.
You should not be allowed to live, or at least play this video game. Fuck you.
Yeah, we have a house rule where if we hit a backwards arrow in a downloaded track,
we're gone.
We're gone.
Done. Over. Not going to happen.
But it's just and it's fun, and it's interesting, and it keeps the game fresh, because when you're sitting there and someone else is and they're like, try this track, and you try it, and sometimes, okay, you get a lot of crap, but you know what? Sometimes, just today, me and Basil have actually pulled a list, and we're going to get to that in a minute, where we've gone, these are the best tracks we've raced. And just today, I was doing a little racing while waiting for someone to show up so we could go to dinner. And we downloaded, I think, 3 tracks, because we found 3 new awesome tracks just today. If we were to sit here and go over every track we've downloaded,
it would take forever.
Forever. It would be a podcast in and of itself.
We got 50 tracks we've downloaded here and there. And this game does a pretty good job of, I feel, circulating tracks. You can do searching for tracks based off names, how much of stuff get rated well, how much stuff gets downloaded the most. But I've discovered a lot of times you'll just find tracks naturally by racing online with people.
But racing with people.
If you get a good host that's played on some good tracks, chances are if they're a good host, they're going to show you those good tracks. And then you can download them. Then when you host, you'll host these good tracks.
Yeah.
And it'll propagate.
And they're really good about at the end of every race, on a track you've never raced before, you get to rate the track and get an option to download the track. And not only do we find good stuff, we found tracks where we're this could be better with this is okay, but we could fix it up a little. Let's download it, get into the creator later, and
tweak it. And you can do that as long if they allow it. I believe there's a setting that you can say, no, I want no one to touch this.
Yeah, I don't want. Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure that most tracks aren't that way. And so what you can do is you can download a track or a mod, edit it, then re-upload it yourself, and it'll show that you edited it and them as the original creator, which is really cool. And so you feel that you can improve this track, you can do it, and give it a chance for your improved version to make its own rounds. Speaking of making its own rounds, we're going to take a break, and we'll come back with more ModNation Racers. And so we have talked about, pretty much this entire time, we've talked about basic gameplay mechanics, as well as the whole multiplayer aspect of things. But there's also an entire single-player campaign that's still here, that still exists. And it's actually pretty clever, as it actually is the first kart race I've ever played that has an actual honest-to-God story.
The storyline, yeah, exactly.
Which I think they used because they realized that, oh wait, this is just a basic generic racer that people are, not generic, but it is sort of generic-y.
Yeah, it's a little generic-y, so they've got to give it something to separate it, to make it stick out in people's heads.
And so what they did was they created a whole background ethos and actual characters for you to watch and have happen. And what happens is that you're playing in this world that, the ModNation Championship, or ModNation Racer Championship, MRC, has been this long, full of history and heritage racing thing. It's like the history of NASCAR and stuff or
you kids
racing.
Ever see Speed Racer?
Stuff like that, where like they even actually introduce you with like showing the old timey footage of kart racers, of them like crashing and burning and stuff, like you would see in like the old racing vignettes of the day. And then they start with you an actual character named Tag, who you play as, and his big thing is he likes customizing things, which is why you can customize your kart, and even himself or herself, depending on how you want to customize your character, to play through the game. And he actually goes through a story on how his mom was like, well, we can do this if you want. Your grandfather, he used to be a race car driver. He's now a chief. He can do all your stuff. And so you meet him, and he goes, back in my day, blah, 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 blah. And he becomes your pit crew chief, and he's talking you through all your races. And
yeah, which is a neat aspect of it, in both single player and in one player online.
Yeah.
Your pit chief is constantly making comments to you. Like, that was a good drift, or, you need to drive here, or, see that thing with numbers on it? That's called a speedometer. Yours should be set on fast.
Or, that was a wall. You're not supposed to hit those.
Exactly.
Stuff like that. And also, then you also have your rival uncle who has conservative motors, because you don't want to drive fancy things, because those will draw attention. And so he's trying to get Tag to race for him, and there's this whole miniature little storyline as you race through all the tracks about him, Tag's rise to being the top racer, which is kind of neat, because with Mario Kart stuff, you usually just go, oh, it's Mario characters now, they're racing. Well, yeah, that's cool.
That's cool. Or, oh, look, it's Diddy Kong racing. Diddy Kong and rare created characters, now they're racing.
Like, for pretty much every single kart racer, there's usually some sort of mascot that is pushing it. And ModNation doesn't have those mascots. So I guess they decided, well, let's create our own characters and storyline to get people something to pay attention to the single player so they'll actually play it.
And not only that, playing through the single player unlocks pieces for updating things. So there's a little more incentive there. It's kind of like the single player for Little Big Planet. Well, except for with more story.
Yeah.
More story than Little Big Planet's had.
And probably the greatest thing ever is the fact that they have commentators that talk to you that introduce each track, and even talk to you while your track is loading up.
Yeah.
And those are Biff and Gary. And Biff and Gary are hilarious.
Yeah, they are very funny. Gary is this kind of nerdy stat monkey, commentator. Well, Gary's supposed to be the
Biff.
The Biff, excuse me, sorry. Biff is Gary's the nerd. I think I said Gary and then Gary.
Yes.
And
Biff is the John
Madden, it's racing, who's always making fun of Gary. And it's pretty awesome,
And they usually they'll do lead in for the track, and usually they'll say something when you finish the track, and usually it's pretty humorous. And they also get their own cutscenes within the storyline as they introduce each of the new set of tracks you get to race in, and it has its moments.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome, and actually in a lot of me and Basil's discussions, Basil would talk about something where the game needed a spectacle, it needed its own thing, like Mario Kart has, and a lot of the kart racers has, and Biff and Gary is ModNation Racer spectacle. It's their big, awesome thing that really separates them, besides the customizable content. In the single-player mode, the thing that you will remember is Biff and Gary's jokes.
That's what gives the game character.
Yeah, exactly.
That normally the mascots would give you when playing it. Go, oh, well, it's Mario. I know what Mario's all about. You don't have that here, so Biff and Gary sort of give you that context of, oh, all right, I'm racing, and these are these guys that are commentating on it. Well, that's kind of cool. Gary's dumb. That's kind of funny.
Yeah, exactly. They are the mortar that holds the whole thing together.
And they do their job with gusto and passion and pathos.
We would love to get a downloadable set of new Biff and Gary moments, actually.
Yeah, I really like. The only downside is that since they're all pre-recorded and everything, of course you will start running through them a lot. And I would love just another set of 20 or 30 quotes that I can just add into the mix so to start hearing some new things.
There actually are a ton of them, though, because we were hearing new ones up until 2 weeks ago or something like that. And it was a long time before we had heard all of them.
And sometimes I won't hear one in so long that I'll forget that I've heard it.
Yeah.
And it almost feels like it's it, but then I'm like, oh wait, I've heard this one too.
I've heard this one before, yeah.
But I haven't started hating them yet, so that tells me that they're pretty good, because usually if I hear something over and over again, I'm going to hate it to death.
Exactly, and when you play a lot of ModNation Razor, you hear Biff and Gary over and over and over again. But I have never yet been like, oh god, Biff and Gary. I mean, I still get a chuckle even out of all the jokes we've seen 1,000 times.
Yeah, that they have not, in fact, gotten old, they've done good.
They've done good. Good job, boys.
So, I think now we're going to give you some tracks.
Yeah. We're going to tell you.
Some tracks that you need to download and play yourself, because these are some good tracks. This is our service from us to you, the people who should be buying this game.
Seriously.
So you know what some of the good tracks are to download and play and propagate, because these are some good ones.
The very first one we want to mention is Tank Crazy and Dino Crazy. They're both by Timmy Tam, and they are, I'd say Tank Crazy is the best player-created track we've raced on.
Yeah.
In the game. Just bar none. It is I don't even want to tell you why Tank Crazy is called Tank Crazy, because it's nuts when you race through it.
We were really sad that everything sort of has that sort of generic veneer, because it would take a lot of work to really create something that's unique in this, and he did it.
Yeah, he did it. He sat down and was like, "We're going to do that." Dino Crazy's got it too, but Tank Crazy's the one where I think it shows.
What was really impressive what they would make you do in this track, and what you realize what you're doing around in the track is just so interesting. You know what? Screw it. Spoil it for a minute if you don't want to be spoiled this track. You're racing a giant tank.
Yeah, and you're racing in it and on it. Like you move up it and then on its barrel, through its barrel, and then the track loops around and you jump up on its barrel and then over it, past the guy who's driving the tank under his legs, and
the guy still includes little shortcuts here and there, but the shortcuts aren't so overbearing that you lose your chance to win, but if you do hit all the shortcuts, you have a better chance of winning.
Yeah, exactly, which is the best way to do shortcuts. It should not be instant win moments. It should be, I shaved 2 seconds off my time.
He has good item placement, because there have been times when you race in a track where they'll do is they'll overload you in items at certain points, and so suddenly everyone has 3 little items, and they all fire them at once.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, if you're in the front, you're dead.
You're dead. You're just chain itemed. It's I've literally on some courses been hit with lightning, missiles, lightning, and it's like. Oh.
And one of the things you gotta do, or is good, is you space the stuff out. You don't have 3 items at once somewhere. No, you wait you do 3 or 4 drops, and you space them out pretty equidistance.
Yeah.
So you don't get overblown with them.
Let's see. Next, we're going to talk about Indoor Star Wars. Indoor Star Wars,
the planet of Endor.
The planet Endor. It's called Indoor Star Wars. We give you these names in exact form because you have to have the exact name to find them. Indoor Star Wars is awesome because it's so open. It's got this area where it's big and open, but you know where the track is, so you don't ever go off the track or something.
Once racing on a track, it was nothing but desert, and they didn't actually tell you where to go. You had to look at the little mini map to try and figure out how to turn.
Horrible. But
we've also done a lot of tracks where everything was too narrow.
Way too tight. Yeah, the track is way too tight to drift. It's too tight to move.
The gameplay, honestly, while it might be tighter than Mario Kart in places, it's still kind of loose.
Yeah.
Everything needs to be more spaced out to move around.
Well, it needs to be loose when you've got 12 people on the track.
That as well.
When I'm playing by myself in the single, when I was racing today, not in single player, but when I was by just me, I did not need as much space as when you got 12 people fighting for areas. But Indoor Star Wars is neat. It's got the wooded area where you have to use your boost or you'll move super slow, which means you have to constantly dodge trees, just like the speeder bikes did in Indoor, and that was really neat.
Then you go through the Ewok village.
Yeah, then back at the start, and that was cool. Zerato was a cool track. I don't really remember why. Zerato was cool.
It was it was very much a raceway track.
Oh, that was yes. Okay,
I think it might even be called Zerato Raceway.
Okay, I think it's Well, I think the subheading or whatever was a raceway or something.
But Zerato is the important word in there.
Yeah, Zerato is the important word.
And it's just a really good, just basic standard racetrack track.
NYC 1 is a really fun track. It's a little urban track where we particularly liked the part where you can jump up into a construction crane, which is holding a pipe, and run through the pipe that the crane is holding.
And this guy made it, and this one has not been really circulated yet. This is one of the ones we raced 2 nights ago.
Yeah.
This guy just made it, and so probably no one knows that this thing exists, and it's really fun. Like, he's got multiple options. Most people, when they try to do multiple raceways through multiple options to choose which way you're going on the track, it doesn't work. They usually are way overzealous in what they're trying to do, and so everything sort of just becomes chaotic and doesn't actually
it's always either confusing, which gets people killed for no reason, or there's one way that is the way, and then every other way through is stupid.
Now he did a really good job of creating, it's a nice wide track as well, but not indoors crazy wide.
Indoors crazy
wide. This is pretty wide, but what he does is he gives you lots of options, but you're always constantly moving forward, no matter which way you choose. Now you may move forward differently, you might go into this other undergutter where there's water and there's a couple items, a couple boosts. Or it might send you an air boost down a pipe, or it might have you jumping on top of, like, trucks. But, he gives it enough, variation that you can choose which way you want to go through it. No matter what, you're going to keep going. You still have a chance to win. And it's a really nice, well-designed, interesting track.
And then next up we have ModNation Gardens, which is a really wonderful example of where we played like a Peaches Gardens, where it was like, it was a bad track, and they were trying to... And this guy had obviously kind of been inspired by the Peaches Gardens-like levels from Mario Kart, but had used ModNation physics to do it, and it's a great example of that.
Well, the Peach Garden we had everything was really, really tightly packed together.
Yeah.
Like, ModNation is much more about just drifting everywhere you can, and so when you're trying to, like, move around things, you need more space to just move around than you do in Mario Kart. And so... So Peach Gardens was you constantly wrecking into stuff. Even if it was the same, like, equidistant stuff in Mario Kart, it didn't work. This one, they took the same ideas, but then regurgitated them in a ModNation form, and it was a lot of fun to race on.
Yeah, it's a wonderful example of someone who was inspired by Mario Kart, but understood that ModNation doesn't play the same way. Next, we have the Half Pipe, and this is a track you're going to want to set at least 4 laps, probably 5. It's a short little one. And it's about as close as we've really come to some kind of battle track in ModNation Raiders. There is no battle mode, which is sad. So sometimes you get these short little tracks that have tons of items on them, and the Half Pipe is about as good as one of those as we've ever come across.
It's just a simple loop with stuff on the sides, and it has just random item blocks and barrels in here and there that you just race around a bunch and... shoot
items off people, yeah. And it's a total blast. Banshee Boardwalk is a great example of a track which was copied from Mario Kart, which did work.
Like, they spaced everything out properly.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, I think one of the pluses is that this is based off the original Super Nintendo one.
No, this is in 64.
It is 4, but still, it's simpler, so there's not as much geometry to go around, so it's easier to space out when it works.
They also made everything wider.
Yeah.
Like it's very obvious that the Banshee Boardwalk in this game, like it's to scale, but it's all wider than it was in the original game, so they understood that.
Here's a tip for those who are creating tracks: the default width of the track is too small.
It's no good. It's no good. It's too small.
Like, you play through any actual United Front games created tracks, none of them are that narrow.
Yeah,
none of them.
None of them.
I don't know why they even created that base narrowness in there.
They probably hated us. Let's see, BRB visiting Ma Farm, M-A-H for Ma.
This is just a really goofy farm track.
Yeah, it's a fun track to race on, and it's a good example of the crazy kind of stuff you can do with the ModNation.
Because you can take animals they give you and blow them up to huge sizes.
Yeah, so like cows pop out of nowhere, and you just run into them and knock them out of the way. It's got a little open field like area that you can jump into as a shortcut. It's a really fun little hey, what kind of crazy crap can we do with? Then we have Neo Druid the Bazaar V8,
and this one very much it sort of feels like I'm driving through like the Bazaar level in Aladdin. Like it's very much a desert track, but it has you going through a city. And the weird to this one has no items.
Yeah.
This is a purely racing track. Normally, those are annoying because items are what keeps you going in the races.
Yeah.
Like, if you fall back in this game and there's no items to help you, chances are you're staying in that same position the whole time.
Because the relative speeds of karts are not so great that are not so different that you can overtake people. Like, unless you have set your kart to full speed, you're not going to be taking people up in front of you, especially if they've set it to theirs to full speed.
But the trick with this track is that there's a lot of little neat boosts here and there, and they're all scattered throughout the level, such that you do have a chance to pass somebody if you get enough extra boost pads here and there. And also, since you go through the bazaar, it's pretty much you built a little city that you drive through, and so you have to choose the best route you think to go through it. Everyone's going to choose a different route. I've raced Bazaar multiple times, and most people who've played this track before, we always choose different ways to get through it.
Yeah, we always find a new way to get through it. Carnage Coliseum, which is probably my second favorite track in the entire game, right behind Tank Crazy. It is a giant coliseum, and it's very hard to describe, actually. You at one point are up driving on the stands, and then down into the coliseum and over, and it's a really wonderful little track. It's got great item placement. It's got a fun little part at the end where there's a ton of obstacles, but it's open enough where you can dodge all of them. So it's one of those things where it doesn't feel like a trap there at the end. It just takes some racing.
And it's one of those. It's like Tank Crazy and Dino Crazy, and that they very much took the actual level editor tools and created something unique and interesting out of the actual architecture, and not just made a track.
I mean,
and it worked.
It worked really well. Like, Tank Crazy and Carnage Coliseum are just, they're just brilliant tracks, and I greatly appreciate Timmy Tam, and who I didn't write down who created Carnage Coliseum, but you too, buddy. Great stuff. And our final one on here for the good tracks is NeoDruid.Island45.v6. And this was a big jump track, right? This is the hopping from...
I think it was some hopping. It was more so, it was just another really good, like, Neo Druid's other track. It was just set in the jungle this time.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, this is the other Neo Druid track. So it's got a couple of little jumps, but
like, Neo Druid actually does some good stuff. I think there might be, like, something else at the end of Neo Druid's name. I don't know, but all the tracks I've raced...
Yeah, there was a number at the end of Neo Druid's name. It was like Neo Druid 41 or something like that.
But all the track that this person's made, they've been good.
Yeah. And finally, we have one example of what not to do, and this one's just called Unlimited Drift. It's really popular for some reason.
It's one of the most... It was one of the first tracks created. That's what's one of the first downloaded ones, where it literally is just two sets of huge...
Giant drifts. Like, big spirals up, a short thing down, big spiral up, short thing down. And I gotta tell you, buddies, if you're designing tracks, guys, we don't want to race on a 5-minute long drift. I'm sorry, nobody does.
Like making spirals up, we don't want.
We don't want that. We don't need it. Like, it's not cool, and it's not. You're not being innovative when you create a track that's a giant spiral.
And yes, it's really easy. You just use the controller and you spin around. And we really haven't talked about the actual track creation because we haven't really messed with it ourselves. We're too busy having fun racing everybody else's creations or complaining about them. One of the two.
Or one of the two. Yeah, either way.
But I mean, I'm sure. A little I've messed with it. It is really easy to just create spirals. I get that. It's easy, and you can drift, and oh boy, but no, really, it's not.
Seriously, it's not fun. You quit it.
I understand if you're trying to do that if you want, like, these crazy amount of drift points, trophy, but we only need one of those levels, and we don't need to actually race on it.
And we don't want to actually race on it. Exactly.
Really.
No. Alrighty, well, I think that is all we've got on ModNation.
We'll take a break, and we'll come back with our final grades. So, in the end, how many awesomes out of awesome is ModNation Racers?
Nah, you said in the end. I give it 2 blue sparks out of awesome.
Only 2?
Well, you've only got 2 wheels. 4 wheels. 4 blue sparks out of awesome.
Okay.
And a Spirit of the Drift out of awesome.
Oh, man, well, geez. I was going to use the Spirit of Drift out of awesome, but you just took it.
That's right. I took it and the blue sparks, son. What you going to take, you Krispy Kreme?
I'm going to...
I'm sorry, I couldn't do it.
Fun, then. I'm going to send a giant-ass missile volley out of awesome after you destroy your ass because you ain't got no boost left.
Shield! Yeah, I ain't got no boost left because I used it all my blue sparks.
So there we go. United Front Games, excellent work. This is your first game, and hopefully it will not be your last game, and in fact that we'll get a sequel for this.
Come on, ModNation 2, because, son of ModNation.
Oh my gosh, the amount of fun I've had with this, all I can think of is I can't wait them to try and make a sequel.
Yeah, seriously. Make a sequel, guys. Do it.
Like, it's one of those things I feel that could, they could take what worked, what didn't work, what's been suggested, new ideas that they've had for it, they couldn't get done or have now that they've made it, to really bust out an amazing second game. And I really hope it sells well enough that it actually gets to happen.
So that's a hint for you guys to go buy it.
Seriously, this is the best kart racer of our generation. This is, quote-unquote, next-gen Mario Kart. This is what I've been wanting since I played Double Dash. Mario Kart DS was good, but this is what I want.
This is what we wanted.
And now I want more, and it's up to you out there in the land of internet to buy it, tell your friends to buy it, tell their friends to buy it, and sell a ton of copies of this game so I can get my sequel.
And so that you too can feel the spirit of the drift.
And with that, we are out.